2, 1. Three, two, one.
I hope that you liked the first episode. It was a bit, a year from now I'm going to look back at it, right? And be like, oh my God, that is super cringy. That is not a good video. Yeah, no. But for now, it is what it is. I think most of my nerves are gone. Some of them still linger, so work with me. So I want to, as you've seen the title, it's about the Supreme Court ruling and feminism. Grrr. Yeah, that's how I feel. About feminism, that is. So, but I did want to, address something that everyone has been talking about and going into because of this movie Odyssey. So here's, and I'm going to be as pleasant as I can be. I'll try not to be as rough as I will be later when I give you the business about the Supreme Court ruling and feminism. So, of course, the person everyone is talking about, and to be fair, pointing fingers at, because I think a lot of it is deserved. So it's Elliot Paige. Is that how you say the name? Eli Page, whatever. Eli Page. So, Elliot Page, okay. So this individual, so I feel really actually kind of sad for this individual, right? I feel really, really sad that they have drunk the Kool-Aid. I don't know where it started for them. I don't know what propelled them to make this decision, because let's be honest, at one time that was a really pretty girl. And I feel like the statements that are being made by this individual warrant kind of the poking at that's going on right now. I'm not interested, let me say it like this. I'm not interested in you thinking you hold a torch, right, to manhood, to thinking you know what's best for manhood, thinking that manhood should look like what you want it to look like, because quite honestly, you simply can't compete with what real manhood is. Take that how you like. I see a lot of regret in this individual's eyes, right? Like, I see a lot of regret. I see a lot of lack of empathy for themselves, and I think they went on a very destructive path. I don't think this was the move this individual should have made, this Elliot Page. You don't get to buy fake abs and then call yourself a dude and get in a ring, and I guess you call that boxing. Okay, I'll let you have that one. And you don't get to do a kind of this, this interview and talk about manhood shouldn't look like it does. So as usual, you push the agenda. You should continue to emasculate manhood. And you can't expect a different result than currently what you are getting by making those statements about men. I think the movie's going to flop for a myriad of issues. And everybody's pretty much on team flop. As am I. You didn't belong in that role. You, I know, didn't earn it. There's nothing remarkable about you. There's nothing that transcends conversation into a more positive light. You have bought and paid for every single thing that you have. And I know some of you, you out there that may hear this. Before you go there, though, my tits are mine, my ass is mine, my body's mine. Yeah. And my face is mine. And so I'm not getting implanted abs. I'm not getting in a ring boxing. And to be fair, if you did get in a ring with me, it wouldn't end well. So we'll leave it there. So I think it's important to understand that what you're doing is a disservice to yourself. This Elliot Paige. It's a disservice to yourself. You're not doing anything that gives people the opportunity to want to have empathy for you, other than the fact that some people do, a lot of people do, feel sorry for you because you can see it in your face. You're unhappy. You don't know what you're doing. You know nothing about real manhood. You do not have what it takes to live in that type of atmosphere. So of course, as you normally do, all of you, you call for the emasculation of men. And men are kind of done with that. They don't tell you how to be a woman. You not get to tell them how to be men. I'm just saying. And so I think it's important for everyone to understand that we should have a bit of rightly deserved rejection for not only the individual, but the movie. And the spoiled brat that made it, because we all know that's exactly what that old man is. Once upon a time, we'd have a different outlook on that individual. Today, you're a spoiled brat, is what you are, that runs through buckets of money and expects us to pay you back in return for making quality theatrical, entertainment. Well, you didn't do that on this. You've had a couple flops. You might want to work on that. And so I think we should try, right, a little bit to have some kind of empathy for this individual, because it's very clearly that they're suffering and they are seriously spiraling. Wearing a suit that looks like you stole it out of your bodyguard's or father's closet, that wasn't a good move either. Not a good look. So I think that what people should understand is this people is suffering, right? More than people can realize internally, and it's hard to relate with that because most people don't experience that in life, except for the forced direction of a lot of youth today that are forced into the direction of colors and multiple colored flags and all that bullshit. And so I'm also going to address something else really quick, and this will be the last time that I refer to it. I won't do it again. One part of it, I should say, before we go into what I have to say about the Supreme Court ruling and feminism. Dylan Mulvaney is a grifter. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you think you're doing. You have single-handedly nearly destroyed and made the stereotypes for what trans women are, real ones, such as myself, two others that I know I won't name, and Blair White. You are some sort of grifter on an epic scale, and I do feel bad for you. I think you should have taken your Bud Light money, and you should have ran and never been heard from again. Never made news, never made any more shock content, I'm thinking. And then the other thing I want to address is this individual named Little Tino that likes to go in bathrooms at Disney. If you know, you know. You're not a transsexual. Neither is Dylan Mulvaney. Nor many, many, many others that are out here portraying such a label. I am a transsexual. And that is the last time I will remind everyone. Because my existence and my worth is not centered around that. And it won't be. It won't be my definition. It won't be the final thing you remember about me. That's just how I feel. And that's not going to change. So, now that we've gotten past that, I just wanted to put that out there. And that also people need to continue to call out this individual that likes to go in bathrooms and takes pictures, or goes to lunch and someone says, "Sir," rightly deserved, and then films it and tries to make content out of it. Yeah. You should be very careful, sir. And I would stay out of dark alleys. People can only take so much. And you are going to cross the wrong person with your foolishness in the wrong bathroom or wherever. And they're going to have enough. So you would be wise to think about that. That's all. Now, here's what I want to get